Okay, so this is a piece about electric vehicles, which I am quite interested in, and most people should be. What I'm going to talk about though is how the manufacturers have so far got it all wrong. We're in May 2016. Beautiful bright sunny day in the UK. It's one of those beautiful spring, early summer days where it just makes you think, yeah, wow. We have to call it summer because otherwise summer's only a month long. So you've got all sorts of vehicles out there that are hybrids or just electric, and obviously there's big heavy diesels that are now really out of favour. And I was just going to talk about how you should really use the strengths of our engines that we have, our different kinds of motors, in order to make an efficient hybrid car. So we have two basic kinds of motor, and my essential point is that you've got a very efficient drive motor. In other words, most of the energy you put into it comes out in the drive shaft, right? So it turns the wheel, and that's an electric motor. It's 90% efficient or thereabouts. Could be a bit more, could be a bit less. Then you've got the internal combustion engine. I think some people call it a thermal engine. The guy that is with the E-fan people, they make a little aeroplane with two little turbine things at the back of it that took a guy across the channel. I saw it fully charged. That show, the internet YouTube show, and the Robert Llewellyn that does it is really good. Is it Llewellyn? Is it Llewellyn? He's really good with all that. Anyway, point is, you've got the thermal engine is a good name for it because the internal combustion engine, petrol or diesel, is basically a heat producer. I don't know how efficient, my gas boiler's just through there, and I bet it's about 95% or more efficient, maybe it's 98% efficient. Only heat that escapes reduces its efficiency, but its job is to convert gas into heat. So if it converts every calorie, because that's how they measure it calorifically, if it converts every calorie of gas or every cubic meter of gas it gets into heat, that'd be 100% efficient. Heat that goes into where you want it to go to. The pipes where the hot water goes, or the pipes where the hot water through the radiators go. So the thing about the internal combustion engine is it produces a lot of heat. So anyone who's in Northern Europe knows this problem. Electric cars, according to Robert Llewellyn, and I've got no reason to doubt him on the Fully Charged show, according to Robert Llewellyn, it takes nearly as much energy, and I think he's quoting from somebody else, it takes nearly as much energy to run the heater on a bad cold day as it does in an electric car to run the motor in certain conditions, yeah? And I don't doubt that. I never doubted that. This was always something that worried me about electric cars. It's not that the range is possibly as low as 55 miles. In other words, my old motorcycle, which is 25-year-old engine design, it gets me 60 miles to the gallon. In other words, I could buy 1 gallon of fuel on my motorcycle and go further than one of these cars on a full charge. So one of these cars is kind of just over a gallon for a car in terms of how far it'll take you. That's crap. Okay. But there's the problem of range anxiety stuff, but here's a simple way to sort it. Only have electric motors driving the wheels, okay? Only have electric motors driving the wheels. And the company that does this, they have a little car, River Simple. Okay, again, I saw this in the Fully Charged show, so I want to give the guy credit. But River Simple have this funny little car Well, I don't mean that as an insult. It's a cute little car. It reminds me of an old-fashioned Citroen. In the back wheels are kind of hidden. Okay, that's the cute little car. This is better looking than that. It's got wheel arches and stuff at the front. Yeah, okay, right. So, and it's got really skinny wheels and stuff. The guys in Cambridge of River Simple Motor Company have really done a beautiful job on it. And, you know, fully charged show, when they examined all this, they went to the guy's little factory unit and stuff. Really, really good. And the big thing they do, and I came up with this concept in 1990, as my ex-wife could testify, but the fact is, this is now taken off, and this is the only way to go. Transmissionless drives. So you have the wheel. I call it motor in a wheel. You got the tyre, and then the motor is a load of magnets and the bits and pieces that you need. Yeah? That's the motor in there, and that's your rubber tyre around there. Yeah? And the steel bit of the wheel, or the alloy bit, whatever it is you want, it probably make it steel if you're doing this. You put the motor in there, and then you stick that on the hub. Now, what River Simple say is this gives you massive regenerative braking. And of course it gives you relatively good torque when you take away. And because every wheel's driving, it's not dragging wheels. It's complicated how this works, but skinny wheels, yet all of them driving, you can make the wheels skinnier because all of them are driving. It's complicated, but that really fixes a lot of problems. Okay, so that's the first thing. Motor in a wheel. Yeah. 1. Only use motor in a wheel. Okay? 2. We use the electric motor for motive power. We've got that. But what do we do when we need to charge the battery and stuff? Well, you can go somewhere and plug it in. What is the internal combustion engine good at? It's good at producing heat. Now, in northern climates, where, I hate to say this, but a lot of affluent people live in northern climates. I don't feel like one of them myself, but that's a fact. You need heater in your car, so let's just assume that if you're at night in the desert, it gets damn cold. If you're in a northern climate, you need a heater most of the year round. So you need heat. You can use the 85% of heat that's produced, because an internal combustion engine is 85% efficient as a heater. It's only 15% efficient as a motor. So, internal combustion engine can give us two things. It can give us the electric power, the storage for the battery. We can produce energy and put it in the battery. Charge the battery, yeah, and that is 15%. Because what it'll do is it'll come out the engine, you see, as a shaft. Then it'll turn some kind of generator that'll charge the batteries, yeah? But you can use the 85% output for the heater. And that heater can heat the batteries in cold weather, or the cabin in cold weather. So what we have is this summary. This is the efficient design, okay? We have the motor and a wheel, which is for motive power. And you can put all four wheels to have a motor and a wheel. That's the way to do it, I would say. The ICE engine, the internal combustion engine, petrol, we will use to charge the battery. That's 15% of the petrol motor power goes into that. And then the heater for the batteries in cold weather, which in Northern Europe you get a lot of. And then for the cabin, for comfort, which is a safety feature as well, remember, being comfortable, 85%. Right? So you don't need, you think about it. An internal combustion engine, if you could make it as efficient as an electric motor, a sports car wouldn't need a 1400cc turbocharged engine. A sports car would need one that is roughly an eighth the size. You would need, what's 8 into that? 150cc? Add on a little bit. Let's say 250cc turbocharged engine. If you could make an internal combustion engine as efficient as an electric motor, you would only need a 250cc turbocharged petrol engine to drive something the size of a Passat or a Mondeo in almost sports car capability. Right? But it's not. But the energy does come out, and we can use it for heat. So that means you only need a tiny little internal combustion engine. So I say that probably it'll be the amount of charging you need it to do that'll regulate the size. There's different ways of looking at this, but I would say you want an internal combustion motor, you want a 3-cylinder. For smoothness, you put on 1 counterbalance shaft and 3 cylinders are dead smooth. You want a 3-cylinder internal combustion motor of about 200cc. Efficiency is about using what you put in, and if you can use all that you put in, convert it into something useful to come out, this version would do that, and the range anxiety is all gone. Okay? And already electric cars cost about a fifth to go the same distance. In other words, you spend a £5 with an electric car, you'll get 200 miles. Spend a £5 on the petrol car, it'll take you 40 miles or so, maybe 45, maybe 50. Yeah? But this is the most efficient solution for this time. Yes, it's not completely electric, but China's got 95% of the lithium storage in the world. It's got 95% lithium stocks. So you might or might not get lithium ion batteries priced down, or I think China like to keep it high. Lithium comes from brine, salt lakes and stuff. That's where lithium comes from. But that's my solution, and this would solve your heater problem. Because 200cc, I can tell you from my knowledge of motorcycles, a 200cc 3-cylinder internal combustion petrol engine would produce all the heat you need for inside a cabin. So you plumb that in with the usual plumbing of water. Yes, it means you have a water pump and all that, but you can make this in a little cube. You can put it as a nice tiny little cube to go in the boot or under the bonnet or wherever you think. And you'll only ever be putting in like, what, 2 gallons? Maybe 3 gallons? 3 gallons would be a lot. Because it's only kind of for topping up and backup and stuff like that. You can make it more than that. Your heating's taken care of, and you're using the internal combustion engine efficiently, because you'll have to excuse my washing machine. The internal combustion engine is good at heat, it's bad at motive power. If you make this a nice little cube that fits in the car somewhere, then one day there's a different thing you want to use to charge up the motor. River Simple, for example, they have a hydrogen cell. Then that's the way to go. And you don't need to go complex like hydrogen cell. And I'm just concerned about the price of that. Although petrol is flammable, excuse me, it's not as much a known quantity, a hydrogen cell, as petrol. So that's my design. That's Sleekitwan'S design of an efficient hybrid vehicle. And if I had the money to make one, this is exactly how I would make it. Thank you for watching this. Bye.